Welcome, welcome, warriors. It's me, Linda B. We have breaking news this evening. Breaking news. There appears to have been a third assassination attempt on the life of President Donald J. Trump. Now, some reports are saying that it was not an actual assassination attempt. I'll let you decide when it comes to someone coming in with fake VIP passes, all this weaponry, and getting very close to important notable figures. So I'll let you decide if this was an actual attempted assassination. But don't forget to smash that like button. It's very important to smash the like button and share this video. Now let's get into it. Hello, Iron Ear. Hello, we've got breaking news, breaking news, breaking news. Now, this is something that just happened. I'm going to share this article with you guys. This is coming by way, and I have a lot of clips to share with you. Not a lot, but a few. So this is coming by way of the New York Post. New York Post, it says, armed man Vim Miller arrested outside of Trump's Coachella rally, and sheriff says it was a possible third assassination attempt. It says local cops arrested an armed man outside of Donald Trump's Coachella Valley rally on Saturday, and the local sheriff said it may have been a third assassination attempt against the former president. The suspect is identified as 49-year-old Las Vegas resident Vim Miller. He was caught at a checkpoint about a quarter mile from the rally with the fake VIP passes to the rally and fake press passes, as well as unregistered weapons, including a loaded shotgun, a handgun, and a high-capacity magazine, according to the Riverside County Sheriff's Office. Miller did not have a valid ID when he was stopped at the rally checkpoint and was detained after police searched his vehicle and found the weapons, law enforcement sources told the Post. We probably stopped another assassination attempt, Riverside County Sheriff Chad Bianco said, according to the Riverside Press Enterprise. Guys, this is getting tiring. This is a bit too much. This is the third possible attempt. And here's Vim Miller right here. He's a 49-year-old, and he's a Las Vegas resident. He was caught about a quarter mile from the rally. Again, he had fake VIP passes to the rally and a fake press pass. It says, however, law enforcement sources told the Post that the FBI does not believe this was an assassination attempt, and the former president's life was never in danger. Miller, a registered Republican believed to have far-right leanings, was booked for possessing a loaded firearm and a high-capacity magazine and was released after posting $5,000 bail, police records show. So he was booked and released on bail. Okay, he has an extensive history of petty run-ins with the law, sources said, and appeared to be a member of the Sovereign Citizens Movement, a far-right movement built on conspiracy theories that believe governments have no authority over them. The FBI calls the group anti-government extremists, who maintain that while they physically reside in the country, they remain separate or sovereign from the United States. And here is this nutso guy right here, Vim Miller. In addition to trying to flout taxes in the court system, the FBI noted sovereign citizens are particularly opposed to traffic stops, to the point that one 25-year-old armed member was gunned down at 23 after refusing to comply during a Utah traffic stop. Miller has a master's degree from UCLA and in 2022 ran for Nevada State Assembly, the newspaper reported. He also appears to own a California-based CBD company and has espoused conspiracy theories and virulently misogynistic rhetoric online. The assassination attempt reports follow a tense summer where two gunmen were caught in the nick of time during attempts to kill the former president. In July, 20-year-old gunman Thomas Matthew Crooks opened fire on the former president during a rally in Butler, Pennsylvania. So this is the rally in Coachella, which was reported that there were about 100,000 people at this rally. That's huge for California. I don't know if California will actually turn red, but I'm so tired of these attempted assassinations. Some are saying, the FBI are saying that this was not an attempted assassination. They are saying it's not. Hello, everybody. Hello. I just wanted to come in here early. I'm not going to do my typical 9:30. This is breaking, so this will be my live for tonight. But I thank you all for jumping on really, really quickly. I'm so tired of these assassination attempts. Really, honestly, I'm honestly sick and tired of it. I wanted to also share some other information with you on X right here. Here's a press release. It says on Saturday, October 12th at 4:59 p.m., deputies assigned to former President Donald Trump's rally in the Coachella Valley contacted the driver of a black SUV at a checkpoint at the intersection of Avenue 52 and Celebration Drive. The male driver, identified as Vem Miller, a 49-year-old resident of Las Vegas, was found to be illegally in possession of a shotgun, a loaded handgun, and a high-capacity magazine. Miller was taken into custody without incident and later booked at the John J. Benoit Detention Center for possession of a loaded firearm and possession of a high-capacity magazine. The incident did not impact the safety of former President Donald Trump or attendees of the event. And it gives a number in case you have any information about this particular situation. And here is the man at and the RNC. He was at the RNC. And here is his social media right here. It says partner, co-founder of the America Happens Network. Again, he is a Las Vegas, Nevada resident. And he's a registered Republican. He's a member of these far-right groups. I'm not quite sure what's happening.
One thing I don't get is that...
And now here he is that he's at the RNC right here.
One thing I don't get is that everything at this convention, at the Republican National Convention, is cashless. This whole place is cashless. So, I don't know. See, that's the Republican National Convention behind me. Wonderful people, wonderful time. Just not happy that it's all cashless. Thank you, guys.
Look how close it looks like he got to Don Jr. Wow. This is Jordan Peterson. He's taking pictures with notable conservative figures. Vivek Ramaswamy. So Jordan Peterson, Vivek Ramaswamy. Here's Newt Gingrich. Wow, look at all the pictures he's taking right next to these people. And that's Riley Gaines, I believe. RFK Jr. You just never know who you're standing next to these days. You just really never, you never really know, right? It's insanity. It's total insanity. And I'm going to share the update from, I believe his name is Sheriff Bianco. I'm going to share the update. Welcome, guys. Welcome. This is breaking a third assassination attempt on Donald J. Trump's life. Oh, this is getting exhausting. It's so exhausting. So tired of it all. Okay, continue to pray. We did pray yesterday, was Day of Atonement, Yom Kippur, and I asked those who are willing to fast, and maybe, God heard our prayers and stopped the assassination. Thank God. So this is Sheriff Bianco.
Perspective. The firearms charges is what we arrested him for and booked him on. Anything further will come from the federal government. And quite frankly, I don't know if we will be a part of that. We will certainly be a part of that investigation and cooperating with them. But those charges, if any, will come from them. They will not come from us. With that being said, is there any questions? Yes, sir.
I can't hear his question. We got to get down to this. It's got to stop.
I will not comment on what he said, or specifics that we learned or gained from our contact with him. Quite frankly, I'm not really concerned with the statement that he gave the media after he was released from custody. I can tell, well, because it's irrelevant to me. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, there were a minimum of 25,000 people that entered past those deputies into that location that had legitimate identification and weren't carrying guns. So I will just go from there. Yes, ma'am.
And I apologize for not being able to hear these questions very well, but I wanted you guys to hear this.
Yeah. So basically, I honestly, I will be honest with you. I don't remember saying that, but it certainly would be something I did say, because it's something that in the last 12 hours we've talked about extensively of what happened. Thank God. And by an act of really what we did in the week leading up to keeping that place secure, I certainly wouldn't want to be saying after the fact that I wish we would have done something to prevent that shooting. And there is absolutely no way that any of us are going to truly know what was in his head. I can tell you that none of the other probably 50,000 people that showed up yesterday for that event brought multiple passports with different names and guns. And if there is any further statement about whether or not he belonged there, the statement of him saying that he was given credentials to be there by someone else, that's not up to me to decide. I mean, we didn't arrest him for going inside the facility. We arrested him for having guns, illegal guns in his car. What his frame of mind was, all we can do is speculate, unless we truly just want to believe anything that he tells us. A dramatic statement for me to make. So this is what I'm glad of. This is what I am very glad of. I know that the presence that we had at the rally with deputies, with snipers, with counter snipers, and Secret Service snipers and counter snipers, I am glad that we're not talking about this after we shot him. We get to talk about it before, and no matter what, it's all going to be speculation about what his intentions were getting there. What we do know is he showed up with multiple passports with different names, an unregistered vehicle with fake license plate, and loaded firearms. If you're asking me right now, I probably did have deputies that prevented the third assassination attempt. If we are that politically lost, that we have lost sight of common sense and reality and reason, that we can't say that, holy crap, what did he show up with all of that stuff for and loaded guns, and I'm going to be accused of being dramatic. We have a serious problem in this country, because this is common sense and reason. I saw some of you there yesterday. You didn't have guns and fake IDs. I don't know how else to explain it.
Wow. Accusing him of being overly dramatic. I mean, what do you think? He's got all these weapons and fake. Everything is fake on him with different names, and that's crazy. Wow.
So if you went there, the credentials are come out at the very last minute, and they are very vague. So there's actually 3 different points of contact and entry. We had an outer perimeter, an inner perimeter, and then you still have to go through Secret Service metal detectors and final big screening to actually get inside the facility. And that is where they would verify whether those were real. And to be honest with you, that thing that you have on your phone, it's all whether or not they have you on a list. It's not just showing up with a piece of paper and saying I'm in. It's whether or not you really did apply through that website to get in. Secret Service does an extremely good job of trying to pre-vet people that are trying to get those tickets to get inside the. No. And then one thing about I will confirm, just because it was said of what him saying that someone else gave him a pass. Well, you don't get to give away passes to go to a rally of a former president or even the vice president going to her rallies. We don't get to share those things. I can't share it with my spouse, let alone with friends. So all of those things are red flags for us going in. None of those things made sense. So it wasn't that we could verify individual documents that we had, because there really isn't those things. And that would have been done at the final checkpoint going through that is completely run by Secret Service.
It's hard to hear the questions. It's really hard, but I just wanted to hear what Sheriff Chad Bianco had to say.
I'll take the last one first. That was, we certainly are still in contact with Secret Service and the FBI, because this is obviously something that occurred that will be continuing to go till we get to the bottom of it, until there's a resolution to the entire thing. The second thing and the second and third thing, I knew this was going to happen. I couldn't care less what political party he belongs to. I honestly, I think that's the stupidest thing in the world, that we have to label something and we're labeling this as politics. He was a lunatic. He was, from my perspective in law enforcement, it's that group. If in fact it turns out that he is part of the sovereign citizens group, they are certainly considered a far right group. I wouldn't, in my own personal belief, I wouldn't say it's a militant group. It's just a group that doesn't believe in government and government control. They don't believe that the government and laws apply to them. So I think it's fringe one way or the other. I couldn't care less. It's people trying to do harm, and thank God we prevented it. Yes.
God, these assassination attempts, this is so.
Wow. I'm sure there were multiple cars that drew attention, but and every single vehicle that made it into the actual event, every single vehicle was checked. He
Wow.
did not make it into the event. He made it to our interior perimeter that was maybe 100, 200 yards away from the actual interior perimeter. So he didn't get to the point where Secret Service would find him. We identified him, detained him, and eventually arrested him before he got to the actual event entrance. Please don't quote me on that, but yes. I mean, I think it's roughly, as I'm trying to imagine the entrance and where he was, I think it's about a quarter of a mile, 250 yards, maybe. I'm not 100% sure.
President Trump mentioned you and your family there during the rally. How close were you sitting to him, and who other, you don't have to name them by name, do you have other family members with you?
I did have my family members there, and we were lucky enough and gracious enough to have VIP seating, so we were relatively close.
About
How far away was I from him?
Right.
40 yards.
Thinking back to what might have happened, do you feel concerned for your safety or your family's safety now?
I will tell you, as the sheriff of Riverside County, and knowing what we know going into this event, that there had been 2 attempts on our former president's life, and the amount of people that were going to be coming to this in such a short notice, what my team was able to do and what we did for the goers to this event, for the attendees, I was completely confident that there was absolutely nothing going to happen inside that facility. And I am inside that venue. And I am extremely proud of what the deputies did, and the buy-in, the personal buy-in that they took upon themselves to ensure the safety of our former president and the attendees of that rally. I was not concerned for myself at any point.
Even after the fact, knowing that this guy was there
It was our intent to make sure that there was an outside perimeter and an inside perimeter, that no one that did not belong there, that intended to do him harm or anyone else harm, would be allowed inside that event. And we did exactly what we had hoped for. And in hindsight, looking back, the planning that my team did and the actions of my deputies into this is exactly what we had hoped for. And we know that we prevented something bad from happening, and it's irrelevant what that bad was going to be.
I just got to say, I just want to pause for a minute. What do you guys think is happening here? I mean, I don't want to say, because I don't feel like I can really say what I think is happening. But what I think is happening, that the upper powers, let's just put it like that, are really behind all of this. Because when people really want to win, they will do just about anything. And that's all I'm going to really say about that. I'm not going to say who I'm talking about. You already probably have guessed what I'm talking about. We've seen things, we've seen a lot. And we know with the first one, Thomas Matthew Crooks, I did a video on him, and it looks like he had access to a lot of money, like about $1.5 million in overseas accounts. He had several cell phones on him, that he was taken out, he was cremated, and it just looks a bit suspicious to me. The second one, Ryan Routh, the one that was in West Palm Beach, Florida, while Donald Trump was golfing. He was there the day before. He'd been sitting there waiting for 12 hours. And this was something that was not planned, that was really not on Donald Trump's schedule. How did this man know this? And there was a woman who saw something suspicious and contacted the proper authorities, and he was accosted. He was arrested. So I'll try and see what's going on with the other two. I don't really have any updates on those right now. But this is Sheriff Chad Bianco. Wow, this is a third attempt, possibly. I mean, what do you want to call it? The FBI doesn't want to call it an attempt, but you have fake IDs, fake passes. You've got unregistered firearms, and I believe the vehicle was unregistered. I mean, what are we supposed to think?
No, I will tell you that when I was told that we had made an arrest, and the brief particulars of what the arrest was, what it involved, I really, my first thought was, we did everything right. It worked. I was told where it was. I knew it was an outside perimeter, and I was not concerned at all. I was not concerned for anyone else's safety. I knew that the precautions that we put in, the measures that we put in, did exactly what they were supposed to do. The other part of your question, the aftermath, the people leaving, I cannot tell you. I've been told way too many times today and in the middle of the night that it didn't go very smoothly. There was a lot of people trying to leave at the same time, and logistically, it wasn't it wasn't conducive to going smoothly. And as far as we know, there were no injuries, there were no incidents, there was no neighbors called to complain or anything like that. And as far as I know, everyone made it home safely. So two different questions there, or parts to it, but we did not do anything different. I will say, I take that back. We did. There were a lot of people that have complained or that have said or wondered why there are deputies in riot gear. We had deputies that were offsite that were ready for something, to respond to something should something happen, and they were never intended to come inside the facility unless that happened. Afterward, when everything was over and it was obvious there were problems with people leaving, with people trying to get over fences and those types of issues, we did bring those deputies in just as extra help in funneling people out. There was never any, the only odd part about that was they were prepared all day in their riot gear, if you want to call it that. And that's how they showed up. We got them there as quick as they could. There was never any we certainly didn't treat it like a riot situation. It wasn't. Everyone was very orderly in their efforts to leave, and we just ensured that no one got hurt or everyone stayed out of the street, stay on the sides, and everything was orderly. But other than that, everything was fine. And as we went throughout the day yesterday, we didn't change anything.
How many guns were found? How many ammunition found? What charges were filed?
I think he's asking how many guns he had.
Anything else related to it?
There were 2 guns and multiple boxes of ammunition for both. There was a handgun and a shotgun. And he was cited for the gun. They were unregistered firearms. So he was cited for the unregistered loaded firearms in a vehicle. And he was, those are state crimes, and he was released on those crimes. He was booked into jail and released with a promise to appear at a future date in court. And I'm sorry, I don't know what that date is. I'm sure on our Jim's information, it will show when his next court date is.
That's what I don't understand. Why was he allowed to be released in such a low bail? You know, I'm like, wait a minute. This is a third possible attempt. Okay, this is something we've been going through the whole, well, since July 13th in Butler. Okay, we've been going through this right here with these assassination attempts. And people are going to let this man go, and he had all these unregistered firearms. Everything on him was like a problem. Unregistered firearms, an unregistered vehicle, fake passes, multiple names, in proximity to a president that has been shot at several times, one nicking him in the ear. That doesn't make sense to me. Somebody explain it to me. I mean, what do they think? You know, this is crazy to me. It doesn't make any sense, honestly.
It's semantically, I can't comment on whether or not there is an actual physical fake pass. He claimed to be a journalist, and he claimed to have VIP status at the event that got him into the perimeter. And then when that investigation was continued by the deputy, that didn't necessarily materialize. So other than his words of saying he was a journalist and that he was there as a media, I can't tell you that that he gave us a document that said I'm the media, and we said that was fake.
Are you able to verify that Instagram account that I interviewed that's his?
As of yet, I have not. I know they're working on it, and someone may have tried to tell me, but I didn't bring my phone, and that's how they would have notified me. I know we're actively trying to track that down, as well as Secret Service and the FBI, but our investigation is relatively done. The continuation will be a cooperation between us, the Secret Service, and the FBI. More than likely, federal charges like that would be headed by the FBI. I can't say that for sure, but it's a combination of all three. And I will say the working relationship and the effort that we all, the federal agencies and the sheriff's office, put into this going in was seamless. The communication is great. I have no complaints. And it's certainly, by me telling you it's someone else's investigation, that's just the nature of a federal crime. If they are ever able to prove that it was assassination attempt, and I'm not saying they're going to be able to, but anything like that would be federal. The state crimes are the weapons charges that we arrested him for.
Someone posted on social media that both you and he were apparently coincidentally at a premiere of a movie, Line in the Sand, some sort of title like that. You don't know this guy, do you?
No, I do not. I have absolutely no idea.
When you originally stated his name, you said it was Vanessa.
So yes, and I maybe I just didn't emphasize that enough at the end. So the name that he has given us is Vem Miller. That's what he was booked under, but he had multiple passports and IDs with different names.
And then also you stated your event was 25,000 gold. The lady you said 50,000. Do you have a better count of how many
We don't have a total yet. There are two different numbers though, because of the amount of people that were actually made it inside the venue. And then the way it works is once the former president takes the stage, nothing else moves. So if you weren't in by then, you did not get in. And we do know that there were plenty of pre-screenings that had happened at parking lots before, and we know that there were multiple thousands of people that did not get in based on timing. So we have an idea of how many people were inside and outside, and we don't have an exact number. But that's the reason why I would have said two different things. Sovereign citizens. It's a I don't know any in a law enforcement world. That's what we call them. That's what they call themselves, sovereign citizens. And it's just a political belief, if you will, that that government rules and laws and everything else that goes along with it doesn't apply to them. I won't say they have a lot. Law enforcement across the country, we train on how to deal with them just because of the verbiage that they use when they interact with us. They believe that they're not necessarily toward us violent or confrontational, but it's obvious they don't ever want to answer our questions. They don't believe they need driver's licenses. They don't believe this vehicle goes along with it. They don't register their vehicles. This was an unregistered car that we had to go through VIN number and manufacturer process to verify that it was a legitimate car. It actually did belong to him. It's just, we know it was sold to him. It just was not ever registered. Sometimes they do, but I can't say as an organization as a whole, but obviously like a lot of different groups, bad apples give a group a bad name. And there certainly are people that are, but I'm not going to say that group as a whole is a violent group.
Asking about the vehicle. I know you can't probably hear this very well.
I need to thank that deputy for doing his job. That was the first thing that went through my mind. And it was like I probably said to somebody or around somebody that's been either printed or reprinted in social media, that I truly do believe that we prevented another assassination attempt. And it was solely by our effort of keeping those type of people out.
Says something about the shotgun.
It was for the handgun. The high capacity magazine was for the handgun. Yes. I won't get into specifics, but it was both of the question that you're asking. We know that there were no, not linked to an individual or specifics that I can give you. We are aware of our dogs and federal dogs that hit on people or things that we ended up not letting in, but I don't have any specifics on anything like that. There was nothing that rose to this level. Anything else? Okay, thank you for coming.
All right, guys, that's pretty much the end of that. Wow, here we go again with another so-called attempted assassination on Donald J. Trump's life. And we have a Vim Miller, if that's his real name, a 49-year-old Las Vegas, Nevada resident. He attended the RNC, which I showed you, and he was taking pictures with these notable people like Vivek and Jordan Peterson and RFK Jr. and others. This man had an unregistered vehicle. The vehicle was sold to him, but it was unregistered, and he had multiple IDs and passports with multiple names. And the firearms were not registered to him. I mean, we don't even know that He's released on $5,000 bond. He's out of jail, so he's got to appear in court whenever that's going to be. And do you guys trust Sheriff Chad Bianco? I thought, I did a video with him earlier in the year, and he seemed like, I don't know, he seemed like a straight up guy. But when I saw this, I'm like, something he said didn't strike me right. But I don't know if I'm just being ultra sensitive because there's so much going on right now. And now I'm just afraid to trust anybody at this point. And Donald Trump has to know he needs to get more security. I don't know if he should get military, his own private security, whatever the right answer is, it needs to be done, because I don't understand all this trying to depend on alphabet agencies. I don't get it, because things keep happening. And this was thwarted, which is good. It wasn't something like he didn't get hit like in Butler. Thank God. Oh, thank God. And our prayers are reaching God's ears. Okay. We fasted and prayed yesterday. We fasted and we prayed. So our God is in control. The devil is out there using people, but God uses people, and God has a plan. God's plan will prevail. Nothing that Satan is going to do will work. I don't care what anybody says. A fellow YouTuber said they're not going to stop until they get him. They won't get him. Okay. They will not get him. So I'm just going to be thankful, and I know what I believe, and we're just going to have to be prayerful and not get fretful and not get scared, not get mad, don't get nervous or stressed out, because we really don't want anything. Those of us who support Trump really don't want anything bad to happen to him at all. I mean, we just don't. I pray constantly. You have no earthly idea. And I'm going to pray for everybody, even the people at the Trump rally, because somebody like, you saw what happened to Corey Comperturi in Butler, and and then others were injured. So we got to pray for everybody's safety. So let's just remember to pray for everybody. It is scary. It is very, very scary. And so you don't trust Chad Bianco. He's a demo crap, a demon crap. I call them Democrats. So, okay, you're saying the military needs to step in. Something needs to happen. Absolutely something needs to happen. We got to be prayerful. We got to believe. We got to be on our faces, prayer warriors, because it is so important. And I honestly, this is what I believe. And I said it in one of my videos. I don't know if you saw my videos from earlier today, but I did say that I believe that Donald Trump is going to be elected. He will get into office, inaugurated, and also have a successful 4 years. But while he's serving his 4 years, the evil powers that be, the little Democrats, I believe they're going to, and this is just something I believe, not saying it's true, they're going to be trying to cook up something behind the scenes, in secret meetings and things like that. And by the time the next time comes, 2028, we don't know what their plans are. We already know there's Agenda 2030 that I believe is the UN or World Economic Forum or something like that. They have an Agenda 2030, some global initiative. And I don't think any of it is good. It sounds like a new world order, sounds like setting up for the Antichrist to step onto the scene. This is what it sounds like to me. And I believe that Donald Trump will have a successful 4 years, a second 4 years, and then 2028, I don't know. I don't know what it's going to be looking like. I don't even know if we're going to still be a constitutional republic. It's just something that I believe, not saying it's true, because I have to be careful what I say, but we have to be prayerful. We just have to, I'm talking about pray all the time about our country in a national revival or international revival. Pray for the safety of Donald Trump and his family and those attending the rally, as well as Vivek, Elon Musk, RFK Jr., Tucker Carlson, Tulsi Gabbard. Am I missing some? JD Vance. Everybody, pray for everybody's safety and their families and the people that they'll be working with. The good Republicans like Byron Donalds, Wesley Hunt, the ones, Marjorie Taylor Greene, pray for them and their families and their close friends and constituents as well. This is a team effort of the MAGA Republicans that are trying to do right for this country, not the rhinos, but I'm talking about the people that are trying to do right and those that surround them. And those that attend these rallies. We have to be prayerful for everyone and a national revival. Okay, just remember to keep praying for that national revival. You guys, thank you all so much. Yes, Jesus is coming soon, and some things have to happen. Okay, we already know some terrible things have to happen, but I think it'll be delayed. Not saying I'm right. I'm just telling you what I believe. I believe it will be delayed. The evil plans that were planned for this election will not happen. That is just, my belief. And I hope you guys remember to hit that like button. Thank you, Iron Ear, for reminding me. Hit the like button, guys. It really helps my videos. Smash the like button. But this whole thing with them trying to, the evil powers, whoever's behind this, maybe it's just lone gunmen, right? But we don't know, and more information is sure to come out. I'll try to stay on top of it, but I haven't heard much about the other two situations. I already briefed you very briefly on the other two assassination attempts. One is gone, Thomas Matthew Crooks, and he had some connections. He was in touch with the government, according to what I found out, allegedly in touch with the government, like the FBI, allegedly, and he had multiple phones and overseas accounts with lots of money in several overseas accounts, allegedly in the amount of $1.5 million. And that he was taken out, he was cremated, and he was only 20 years old. And then you had Ryan Routh, who was waiting for Donald Trump for 12 hours. And it just makes no sense. And he was shot at, and nothing hit him. And this man is in custody. Ryan Routh is currently in custody right now. And so I'll try to keep an eye on what's happening with that. I haven't heard anything or seen anything really on that that's worth mentioning, but I will try to keep you guys updated. But I'm glad you feel the same, Iron Ear. And thank you guys for joining. I really do appreciate you guys. Don't forget, I do post my videos at 4, 6, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sunday through Friday, and I do my lives Sunday through Thursday, typically at 9:30 p.m. Eastern, but I had to come on here a little early with this breaking news. A third so-called attempted assassination, it looks like it was, with this Vim Miller, 49-year-old from Las Vegas, Nevada, and it looks like he had all these unregistered guns, unregistered vehicle, multiple passports and IDs with different names. The vehicle was sold to him, but he never registered it. So that's what we're looking at right now. And he's out on bail, $5,000 bail. So he's out. He's been released, and he has a court date upcoming. So we shall see what happens with that. So that's it for today's video. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you so much. Don't forget to smash the like button. Don't forget to like, comment, share. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please do, and hit the notification bell. You all be blessed. Oh, you can catch me on Rumble, guys. I really want you to catch me on Rumble. Chat with me, Linda B, but type it in as one word. And I'm also on X, TikTok, and Instagram as Chat with me, Linda B. And you can email me at chatwithmelindab@gmail.com. You all be blessed. Love God, your families, these United States of America. And as I always say, march on, warriors. Good night, everybody. Have a blessed evening. Bless you all. Good night.